Guys, so today I'm filming a video. I know I always say this all the time, how I haven't been in front of the camera for a long time, but I mean, I'm trying my best now from this point on to put out content. And yeah, I'm not gonna say it too much because I keep on saying it. Like even last year I even said like, oh, I'm gonna put more content out for you guys, and I've kind of failed to do that. Like I look at my channel and it's like 5 months ago, 6 months ago, like it's just so long, and I barely did anything in the past year. So I'm gonna try and do way more like I used to do back in the beginning of my channel. Yeah, so I hope you guys do end up subscribing if you're new here. My name's Sahar and I do a range of different videos like beauty and fashion and just talking videos like this one about, I want to start doing more like deep topics and also comedy videos and stuff like that, but we'll see. I'm not gonna get ahead of myself right now, and yeah, let's just talk about our topic in this video today. So our topic today is about mental health, and I have a lot of my own experiences as well as views and opinions on this topic. But today we're going to talk about mental health in relation to school and how school can affect our mental health, and of course other things can, such as work and lifestyle choices and all that stuff. But today I'm specifically talking about things such as school that could affect students, and just opening people's eyes a bit more and giving my opinion. So before I start talking about what I think about the whole situation, I want you to comment down below what you think at the end after you hear my one, just your unbiased, completely unbiased point of view on school and its effect on mental health. So yeah, without further ado, let's just get started. One of the things I wanted to talk about was the education system. So it's like the way they expect you to go to university and all this stuff. Like I'm in year 12, for example, and I already have to do my UCAS application, all that stuff this year. School doesn't give us any other options on what we could do or anything like that. Like it just tells us the main thing of what the government wants us to do and all that stuff. Like just go to university after you finish college or sixth form, whatever. You have to go to university, do at least 3 year long course or even longer than that, just to become something. And there's even no guarantee that once you leave university you'll find a job. And it just seems so like long-winded and just bad, because a lot of people might not want to go to university. And for me, I just thought, oh, I need to go to university and I want to go to university, but that's because they're telling us that. They're not telling us about any other options like apprenticeships or anything like that. So it's just a very biased in my opinion, but also let me know what you think. And that's just part of the problem. Like they just don't teach you anything good, and of course education is very important. As I'm sure you know, like we just learn so many useless things. So like up until now, so I'm in year 12 and I study what I want to study, so biology, chemistry and English literature. They literally make you study stuff you don't want to do. Like during year 11 and year 10 I had to do either French or Spanish and geography or history. Like I had no interest in that. I don't care about any of those, but I had to do that. So I had to do that, and it just didn't really make sense in what I wanted to be. I don't know exactly what I want to be yet. I'm thinking like a dental hygienist, all that stuff, but I'm not completely sure, so I don't want to say. But something to do in healthcare. So that's just my point of view on that part. They don't exactly tell you that much. Like anything about life skills, like right now, I'm not prepared for anything. I don't have a job. I don't know what to do as far as what you need to buy a house, what you need to pay mortgage, what tax is, what all this stuff is, all this legal stuff. Like I don't know. And school, rather than teaching me about French or teaching me about how to find the area of a circle and all that stuff, I think it would be more beneficial for me and for everyone to find out things that will be actually useful to our lives, for sure, like 100% useful to our lives, and not maybe you might need this in the future. School is alright, but the things that come along with it, such as bullying and social expectations and homework and exams and all this stuff that adds stress onto an individual's life that is unneeded. Like I personally, don't get me wrong, I believe in school, and school is very important, and school is great for learning and for socializing and for just gaining skills in general. But also school is like, you literally spend most of the time, like I spend a bit less now since I'm in year 12, but most of the time you spend 5 days a week, 6 hours a day That's a lot. It's 30 hours a week. That's like a full-time, well, almost a full-time job just at school. Not getting paid, nothing. And on top of that, that's just how much you spend inside of school. The amount of homework and all this like revision you have to do and all this stuff is just ridiculous in my opinion. And of course you need to do this because school is important and it will help you with loads of things later in life, especially if it's in the field that you want to work in. But I believe that school should at least give you some sort of opportunity to you know, talk to them about how you're feeling and help you with your stress and help you with your mental health and stuff like that, because I find it pretty inevitable that if you go to school you will suffer from some sort of mental health issue. I don't know about other things, but I mean it's pretty definite for me that you would get anxiety. Like I get anxious in so many situations when I was in school, and stuff like depression and stuff like that, like it's just pretty unavoidable in my opinion. So let's just go into a few things that someone could suffer from whilst attending school. So one of the things I want to talk about is bullying. This is not always so obvious and you could get bullied without even realising it. So it's really important to know what to do in one of these situations. So I have gotten bullied before. Right now I'm good, I'm fine. Thank God, like I'm alright. But I used to get bullied when I was younger and it was not good for me, and it really affected me later on in life, and also during the time I was in school. I couldn't focus, I couldn't, you know, just focus on my studies, I couldn't be happy. I used to go home and be sad about it and cry and stuff like that, and I'm pretty sure that problem is not unique. Like to me, it's widely common in people that go to school and students and stuff. I think it's good for schools to be aware of stuff like that could be happening, because a lot of the time they seem to ignore it and just pretend it's not happening. Schools expect you to be learning and stuff, but how can you learn in somewhere that is not threat-free, that you feel uncomfortable in, that you don't feel safe in? As well as this, like the threat of cyberbullying is bigger than ever, because literally right now there's technology and there's phones and all this stuff. There's like stuff you can do, like ask me anonymous questions and stuff like that. People could just literally say anything about you and you wouldn't even know who it is. And it's also difficult to like let the teacher know that you're getting bullied or anything, because the bully could literally blackmail you and be like, oh, if you tell the teacher, if you tell this person, then I will hurt you or hurt your family and all this stuff. Like it's pretty dangerous situation. Of course, like if you get bullied in school, it's gonna turn school into a place of getting hurt, getting degraded, getting shamed, getting things stolen from you, like your food money and all that stuff. Like why would a child want to go there and learn? And even then, like they could not get good grades. So it's really important to, you know, like take other factors into account when thinking about, oh, you need to do well in school, because you never know what someone's going through, and to put extra stress on them like some teachers do is really risky. Like you never know. What I want to talk about is being tired all the time. I have really, you know, experienced that before. When you sleep like 3 a.m, 4 a.m, wake up at like 6 or 7, like it's really tiring, and it's hard to concentrate on your studies when you're just constantly tired all the time from things that are happening in your life. And like for me, it was an endless cycle of being in school, getting tons and tons of homework, especially in year 12, the year I'm in now. After school, I took a nap because I was too tired. By the time I woke up from the nap, I was doing all my homework and I couldn't finish my homework in time to sleep, to get enough hours, like 8 hours of sleep. By the time I finished my homework, I only had a few hours of sleep, and then the whole cycle kept on repeating and repeating again. For me, in my school, if I ask my friends, how are you? They all say, I'm tired, I'm tired, I'm tired. Like, it's just a natural thing now. It's normal. Oh, it's normal to be tired in school. Especially if you have, like, extracurricular activities, and that adds on extra stress. You have homework, deadlines, stuff you need to complete, coursework, assignments, all this stuff just adds on to someone's stress levels, I guess. After this, because you're lacking in school, you're going to have to revise and go over your notes again and stuff like that at home to compensate for the amount you've been lacking, and thus that leads to less and less sleep. So you become more tired and it's just not great, especially if you're like growth and well-being. And don't even get me started on exams. Exams are just annoying. They're very inaccurate in my opinion, because for me, let's just put it this way. So you you study a whole year with a ton of content that fills this size of a textbook. You have to study every single word in there because anything could come up in your exam. In that exam, let's say there's only about 10 different questions, because in my exam we had previously for like biology, for example, and chemistry, there were only 70 marks each. And the amount of things that I studied for, because of course, like, I don't know everything because that's difficult. I can't know every single thing in the textbook. So I just decided, oh, let me study this, and that. So by the time I studied those, I did the exam, and there was nothing, no questions related to those topics in the exam. I just couldn't perform as well as I could have if I actually revised the things that came up. But of course, I wouldn't know that those were the things that would come up. Do you get what I mean? So it's just really, really frustrating because it's like based on luck, because someone else could have revised those topics and they would have done better than me just simply because they decided to revise those and I decided to go over the other things. The amount of content that is actually in the exam compared to how much you have to learn is ridiculous. And it just doesn't represent your own ability, it represents your memory skills. Like how much I can remember this material. Like I don't even have to understand it as much. I can just remember the whole textbook, memorize the whole thing, and I'll be great. But no, like that's not how it should be. It should be how you actually, what you know and how you apply it. From my courses and stuff, they took away like the coursework stuff, which is annoying because in my opinion, I think that coursework is a better indicator of how well I can do because it's over a longer period of time and I can incorporate more different things in it compared to, and prepare better ultimately, compared to an exam where I don't know what's coming up, I don't know what to revise, and ultimately, like, I can just do so bad if I don't know, like, a few of the topics. Not every person's brain functions in the same way. Like, as I said, someone may have better memory than another person, and for that reason, they'll perform better in that exam. That does not say that the other person's intelligence is very low. It just means that they may struggle to remember the information a bit more, and that's pretty much me. The anxiety of a student is, you know, it's like predetermined almost when you start school because of course you have deadlines and all this stuff to feel anxious about, and it's just stress on social relationships and all that stuff as well. It's not just what you do in the classroom, because me personally, in the classroom I was quiet and I could have, you know, like I was alright like if I just kept to myself, but it's really difficult if you don't have friends or support or anything like that, because of course in this environment in school it's very interlinked with loads of other people and groups. Throughout my life I've struggled to have friends and I've struggled to, you know, have a stable group in school, if that's what you want to call it. But I mean, sometimes I had no one to sit with, and I know it seems like such a trivial matter now. Like I'm alright now because it's like year 12 and it's a bit different, and now I can like leave the school and stuff like that, you know, during lunch times and break and all that. But I mean, at that time I just didn't really have friends, and I was like, oh, who do I sit next to? Who do I sit next to when I'm eating my food? All that stuff. Like I had certain friends and other people that were friends with those friends and didn't like me and all that stuff. And all those things. So it was just really, really stressful, and it made me really anxious. Like I would literally go and can't believe I'm admitting this. Sit in like the toilet for my lunch times and stuff because I just didn't want to face anyone. Like it was difficult. Ultimately it took a toll on my mental health. It just made it degraded it. Like it was just really, really bad. Having like healthy social relationships is really critical for you know, a child's development, especially when they're in school, because they're still growing and still developing like mentally. When I was in school, certain teachers would make me talk. Like in French, my teacher would make each of us read the stuff on the board and like do like a challenge. So it was really, really difficult. Like I had extreme anxiety because I felt like I was gonna mess up, and whenever it was gonna be my turn, my hands were sweating. I was literally like about to cry. It was crazy. And the thing is, all of that is so avoidable. Like it's so unnecessary. I did not have to do that. And due to the pressure, like it's just bound. Someone's bound to like just give up, and that was me many times in my life. Just give up studying, give up, you know, just give up trying, because I wasn't really getting anywhere. And of course depression is a lot, like, it's very common and people don't really speak out as much as they should. They keep it to themselves, which, you know, I can relate to because I feel like, why would anyone care? For my school, they don't really tell us about anything like therapy or someone that you can tell how you're feeling to. Like during exam season, I was incredibly stressed out. My mental health was on decline, and I just didn't know that I could tell someone. I'm pretty sure every school is required to have some sort of facility to, you know, talk to someone, and I just feel like it needs to be a bit more talked about personally. Due to homework, like by the time I got back home from school, I would have to, you know, just continue doing more work at home because of homework, and it's incredibly unhealthy to do so because from everything, anything in excess is very, very unhealthy and it's just not good for you. You need a break from everything, to be honest, like a little bit. You can't be doing things constantly. Having an excess amount of homework is very detrimental anyway, because if I have loads of homework to do in the evening and I do all of that, I'm going to be super tired and fatigued, and I just cannot be bothered for the next day when I actually need to learn new content in school. I'm sorry if this video is very ranty, it's just my views and I never get to really air this out to anyone, and I'm lucky that I have this platform to at least, you know, talk to someone and someone to hear my views. Otherwise, you know, when I'm talking between friends, we talk about this sometimes, and it's very relatable, like, you know. It's really good to know that you're not alone as well. And the last thing I want to talk about is like being social, like social relationships and stuff. For me, a big thing was feeling like I belonged, feeling important and stuff like that. And that's not unique. Like everyone wants to feel like they belong, of course, in somewhere like school where they spend a lot of time. Like for me, school isn't just a place to learn about your subjects and stuff like that. It's also to, you know, talk to friends and be social and learn what's socially acceptable. And if students do not feel at ease in the environment, how are they expected to just, you know, like perform well? So basically my point is that people that attend school, so I don't know why people are saying that to students, they suffer from a lot of mental health issues, and it's something that we should be more aware of, because sometimes you tend to feel alone. You feel like, oh, that person's so happy, that person's getting good grades, look at my grades, stuff like that, but you really are not alone, and you have someone to talk to at school, talk to someone. To improve this, ultimately you just need to find what you want to do. Don't listen to your school too much. Of course you have to a little bit, but don't listen to them too much. Like, find what you want to do, find what you're passionate about, because if you're passionate about something, you'll always excel, you'll always be interested, and it will just be a really good career path for you. And just finding that sort of purpose and something wanting to live for, that's great, because it just gets you a bit distracted. Find people that you like, and if you don't have friends, try and make new friends. That's what I did. Just if you ever like end up talking to someone, compliment them, say, oh, are you free anytime, do you want to hang out, do you want to do this, like, you know. It's just really, it's a lot easier than you think, but just anything to really improve. And yeah guys, that's pretty much the video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, give me a big thumbs up and do subscribe. It's just down below, literally one click, and if you don't subscribe, you will hurt my feelings. But yeah, let me know if you would like this sort of video in the future, just kind of ranting about stuff. I felt super negative in this video, so sorry about that, but yeah. Do let me know what you think down below, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!